But North Texas, the wide receiver, Jyaire Shorter, picks Auburn. 18 now with the linebacker from North Texas also making the switch over to Auburn. 18 transfers that Hugh Freeze has brought in, something you have to do when you're reworking the roster. As you look at Jyaire Shorter, what do you think he brings to the table, LT and Browning?
Well, this is a guy that was when you look at his numbers, he didn't put up massive numbers as far as like yards per game and things like this. But if you look at his per reception, for those that qualified receptions-wise, he led Conference USA and had 11 touchdowns. Think about this for a second last year. 23 receptions, 11 touchdowns.
That's right.
Almost half his catches were for touchdowns. So he was a big play guy that was able to stretch the field.
Who was the guy we used to say that about in the NFL? Was it Chris Carter?
All he does is catch touchdowns. I think that's what Berman used to say. Chris Carter, all he does is catch touchdowns.
He throws it out to Chris Carter.
Yeah.
All he does is catch touchdowns.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty crazy to think about. So yeah, I mean, when you've got 23 receptions for 11 touchdowns, you're obviously making some big plays.
Yeah, that's a big play guy, and I can't remember the last big play receiver Auburn had.
Well, they're bringing in Caleb Burton, who I like a lot from Ohio State. A guy I compare a little bit to Garrett Wilson, same region of the country, virtually the same size. Wilson toured up at Ohio State and is doing great with the Jets as well. Should be even better now, right, with Aaron Rodgers at quarterback. So, I only half joke about the North Texas thing. This guy was honorable mention All-Conference USA. But I think it once again addresses what I've said for a couple of years, is that the Auburn receiving room, there's all this talk about quarterback this, quarterback that, what Bo Nix was able to do when he was there, and any quarterback since then. But have they really had great playmakers at the receiving position? Somebody that can get separation to make it an easier throw. And when you get the ball to them, can they catch the ball? I mean, how many drops has Auburn had the last 3 years of football? Now you got a guy who is known for taking the top off. You have a Caleb Burton and some of the other guys who are already there. Maybe now you've got a little route tree for Hugh Freeze that can, work on, get some separation, and make it easier for Peyton Thorne in the passing game.
Yeah, I was going to say, and you've got your most accurate passer in Peyton Thorne since probably Jarrett Stidham. You can say what you want about Bo Nix. There was a lot of inconsistencies there. But quietly, Hugh Freeze, it's going to come down to a couple of things. He hasn't fully built his roster. You heard that from Brian Kelly with LSU coming out of year one. But for Hugh Freeze, it's going to be about chemistry and culture. And if you can get those two things right this year, this team is going to beat a couple of teams they shouldn't beat.
Well, I agree. You had stepped out yesterday. We were doing the over 6.5 number, and I think Auburn's a good bet at over 6.5.
Oh, I do too. Yeah.
Because
I think they're 8-4.
I think they got 4 non-conference wins, and then when you start looking at their conference schedule, you can find some wins in there, and you only need 3 more.
Yeah, if you just win your 4 out of conference games, which the toughest, I guess, is at Cal.
At Cal is going to be easily the toughest.
They're going to win that game.
And then you got Vandy. So that's 5 right there.
And you should be better than State, and you get that at home.
Yep.
So they're 6, and now I just got to find one more win somewhere
against an Ole Miss or an Arkansas, an A&M, Alabama,
and those are all
LSU.
To me coin flip games.
Yeah, you got a lot of
Alabama and the LSU, but the others.
Yeah, you got a lot of coin flip games in there. And I'll point out, by the way, that the Iron Bowl is in Jordan-Hare. I don't know if you guys paid attention to the history of that game.
Yep.
That has been an extremely difficult place for Alabama to go win, even when Alabama has been a significantly better team.
Yeah, great teams versus good teams. The good team has been better than the great team most times at Jordan-Hare Stadium.